Hello everybody and welcome back to another Deep Ogre review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Transformers Kingdom Blaster. This is the first Transformers review of 2022 and the first Transformers figure I've got in 2022, which is kind of weird since most of my collection nowadays and most of this channel centers around Transformers. It's kind of weird that I'm only just now getting a Transformers figure, but I digress. This guy is absolutely fantastic. I really love him. I do have a little bit of I do have some gripes, but those are just minor inconveniences to me. This guy is absolutely fantastic, and without further ado, I'll get into his accessories. So for Blaster's accessories, we obviously have his classic kind of snipery looking rifle right here, just cast in a nice black. That's pretty much it. You do have two ports on the side, so if you wanted to, I don't think I have any Transformers weapons right by me. Hold on. If you wanted to, I just took 86 Jazz, and he has little ports on the or pegs on the side of his gun. So if you wanted to, I guess you could just kind of put it on there, and Blaster could be holding 2 guns or 3 guns, because there's another port right there on that side. So if you really wanted to, I guess you could do that. I don't know why you would, but hey, it's something to do if you want to do it. Very nice detail, though. I feel like it definitely gets lost in the black sculpt, though. It kind of sucks. But for Eject, I fucking remember this. I kept calling him Rewind in the unboxing, and it's pissing me off because I obviously can't redo the unboxing now. But it honestly does look pretty nice. I do love the clear blue that they're going into with Legacy, because this is clearly the main show of Legacy is the Energon weapons, and Eject here, clearly when they revealed Kingdom Blaster, it was a Legacy figure, because there was a second Voyager going into the wave with Bulkhead, and it's a whole thing. But main takeaway for me was that this guy was in clear blue, and all of the Energon weapons are in clear blue. So it was pretty obvious from the get-go. But you do have some nice sculpt. You have those holes right there. I mean, I think you could plug something into them too. Yeah, you can plug something into them too. But it's just like a quick comparison to another cassette. This is not a very good cassette mode character, I'd say. But here he is next to the Earthrise Laserbeak, so that you can see they're pretty much the same dimensions at everything. So that's honestly pretty cool. You could see some gold, and the way you just transform this guy, boom. Oh, fuck. Sometimes mine gets stuck. It's kind of weird. Boom. Unpeg. And you just flip that head out. It's a little harder sometimes. And turn it around. And there you have Rewind all up in his very, very nice looking body. I do like it. I'm just scared because clear plastic syndrome. It can crack easily. And it doesn't help on mine that this shoulder is very, very tight. The rest of the joints I don't really have a problem with at all. They're pretty nice. They move really nice. But I don't know why, but this shoulder is just really, really tight. It's pretty much just tighter than even a regular figure, I'd say. It's kind of concerning, but all the rest of the joints are pretty nice, pretty easy to move, other than that. So articulation, there's a ball joint up at the head. Obviously, due to transformation, he can look all the way up like that. Can't really look down. A little bit of side to side, and a lot of 360 all around because it's a ball joint. Arm can go out about that far, in about that far, and full 360 right there. Bicep swivel, single ball jointed elbow, can get past 90. No way swivel, sadly. Leg can kick up about that far, back about that far. Leg can kick out about that far. Knee bend in all the way, obviously due to transformation. A little bit of swivel right there, and that's pretty much it for this guy's articulation. I'll get into size comparisons with him when we get into size comparisons with Blaster. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for his accessories. Really nice accessories, honestly. I was lying when I said that was it for his accessories, because you do actually get to put eject here into his chest. But before I do that, I do want to showcase a little bit of weapon storage. You have 3 slots right here. I personally like to put his rifle on the fucking left-hand side of his back, because that's his trigger finger, and it just makes more sense to me. But you can also put it in the center of his back and on the right side. So you have options. As always, options are pretty good. Pretty good, I will say so myself. But he does actually look pretty good with the rifle on his back, in my opinion. But obviously, how you put eject in his chest is pretty straightforward. There's obviously the little dials right here. Press that up and just slide it in. That inner detail is pretty good too. Looks pretty nice. You just slide him in. Doesn't really click, but obviously when you click that, it does. And that looks pretty good. I also wanted to try something. Wanted to see if Soundwaves cassettes can fit in here. And yeah, they can. So you can have Blaster with Laserbeak if you want to. So that's honestly pretty cool. I just hope that we get, a Rewind and a I can't remember the other two's names, but I hope we get a Rewind with this, or with new Legacy line in like a core class, or I don't know how they would do it because they got rid of Micromat. I don't fucking know, but I hope we get a Rewind for this guy in Legacy soon. So for detail on this Blaster, this head sculpt is absolutely stunning in my opinion. I love it. You have that nice lighter silver right here for his forehead. Those obviously very iconic not antlers, but antennas right there. Nice baby blue eyes. They're kind of not really baby blue, more sky blue with a metallic kind of twist to them, but they look absolutely fantastic. And that gunmetal gray for the face. I'm a fucking sucker for gunmetal gray. I love gunmetal gray. But for the rest of him, he's just cast in this red, with the joints, or with like the joints right here being mostly cast in black, like shoulders, forearms and biceps, hands, thighs, feet, all that kind of stuff is all cast in black, and the neck actually is too. But this guy's detail is really amazing. You can see you have a little bit of black right in there for his shoulders. Very nice. Nice tampoed Autobot insignia right there too. I feel like it could have been a little better because you can kind of see the yellow seeping through on the white outlines, but I don't really mind, and I kind of missed the mark right there, so that kind of sucks, but it's not too noticeable. Very classic. You have that diagonal line going through, and you can kind of see Rewind in there, right there. And obviously for the buttons, go back, fast forward, stop, rewind, play, blah blah blah. You get the idea. And then for his arms, you have very nice detail. Like, it again kind of gets lost in the sculpt, but I digress. It's very, very nice all throughout this guy. More ports right there, and obviously the same on the other side. Nice gray, kind of breaking up the red and the black right here for the hips, and some red accents right there. Very, very nice detail. I have some arrows pointing right there. Very, very nice. That line from up here at the hip going down carries on into the thigh. You can see that a little bit, barely. And you have the classic speakers on the side, and the handlebar for when he's in Boombox mode. So yeah, that honestly does look pretty good on the back. You don't get any kibble besides the butt flap, which we got with Siege and Earthrise Soundwave, so I'm not even complaining at that point. It's just really nice to see. And you have some dials, but we'll get more into that detail in Boombox mode. Sorry. Some knobs back here. Not knobs, but you know what I mean, round things. But that's pretty much it for his detail, honestly, and it honestly looks pretty good. But now for articulation. So for articulation on this guy, you have a ball joint up at the head. He can look up about that far, down about that far, and a little bit of tilt and everywhere. Arm can go out about that far, inwards pretty far. Arm, full 360. What is that? It's an elbow. A bicep swivel, guys. Wow, I'm not very good at this. Over a little bit, slightly over 90 at the single joint elbow. No wrist rotation, sadly, but for transformation, you do kind of get in and out, I guess. Doesn't look that good, but whatever, man. Waist swivel, very, very good. Kind of tight on mine, but it's a waist swivel. I'm not complaining. Kick. Leg can kick up about that far, back about that far, but then you have to move the butt flap, and he can kick back about that far. A leg can kick out about that far. Thigh swivel. Single jointed knee goes about 90 degrees, and you have an ankle pivot, and the foot can go up, but that's more for transformation. Can't go down. I don't want to force it because I don't want to break this, honestly. When you have yours, do whatever you want, but I'm not going to risk it. And here, for size comparison, we have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Jazz and the Transformers Kingdom Voyager class Cyclonus. Now, having these two next to each other, they look absolutely fantastic. I love it. This was the first G1 Kingdom figure that I got. This is the latest and the last, so I really love the way these two look together, and it just brings me joy. I don't know what else to say about it. Here he is next to his rival Soundwave, and obviously the Transformers Earthrise or Kingdom Optimus Prime. And for last comparisons, here he is next to the Transformers Earthrise Skywarp and the Transformers Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. Now, one comparison I did want to do just for the sake of doing it. I wanted to compare the Transformers Kingdom. My tripod is dropping my camera. But I wanted to compare the Transformers Kingdom Skywarp, Starscream and Soundwave next to Eject, and I also wanted to see if Eject could hold one of their weapons. I can't really see if he has a peg in his hand or not, and that is a big fat no. He does not, so we cannot hold any weapons. Besides, it would have been cool if he came with his little blasters like he did in G1 and all that jazz. But they look pretty okay together. They're obviously not in scale, but still, it's not bad. Now, for transformation, because I haven't done this in a very long time. I can't even remember the last. I think I last reviewed Transformers Kingdom Waspinator, so that's the last Transformer I reviewed. But first, let's just get this guy into transformation. Overall, the robot mode is actually pretty good, so I have no qualms with this robot mode because it is pretty good, pretty spicy. No, I did not have problems transforming it. I had a lot of problems transforming it. It's literally the second time I've transformed this thing, and I forgot a step. Oh, fuck, you're supposed to do it before. Okay, I'll be back. I'm supposed to flip these over. They're on a little turntable, so yeah, that's how that works. Anyway, for the Boombox mode, I actually really like this. They really nailed every single detail on this guy. You have all of these buttons, all these dials for the volume and the radio and shit. You have speakers like actual they're painted on, obviously, or are they? No, they're sculpted. They're sculpted little pieces right here for either like the slidey dials or whatever. They have more speakers up here, speakers over here, smaller speakers right there, and a little bit of articulation in the handle. You can move. Well, you could have moved it forward and back. For some reason, mine just really does not want to tap in. I don't know why. There's no reason. I'm transforming it all correctly. I don't know why. It honestly just fucking does not at all want to tab in on mine. It kind of pisses me off. I mean it really pisses me off. And it's been doing this ever since I got it. I think I fixed it. Well, maybe I'm just retarded. Like I said, I am trying to do this on the fly. But this boombox is absolutely fantastic looking. For a little bit more closer details, turning my flashlight on a little bit like I did at the old review station. Very, very nice. You get more of that gray than in robot mode. And all of him is very compact. There are these little gaps back here, but honestly, that doesn't really bug me. And there's that serial number on the back. Again, doesn't bug me. It's on the back. Back is really plain. Nobody cares because it's on the back. You're not going to review, or you're not going to display your boombox like this. It's just not going to happen. Even if you do display it in boombox mode. Obviously, if you do, props to you, I guess. I don't fucking know. Who cares? Just display it in robot mode, pussy. But you have some asymmetry, right here with lines, and then just a box, different dials, and more kind of sculpted in details right here than right here. And one thing I do like is all of these dials are pointed in different directions, so it gives it a sense of like it's actually being used, or it's living and using itself. Oh no. Obviously you can still eject, and yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it for his cassette mode. Honestly, it's pretty cool looking. It's basically a glorified brick, but I like it. I like it a lot. But just yeah, if you can, be careful, because if you're a fucking retard like I am, you'll probably do something wrong in the transformation if you don't look at the instructions like I don't. So yeah, just be careful. Overall, I really like this thing, and without further ado, I'll get into my closing thoughts at right now. Before I get into my final thoughts, I do want to mention something. It is really hard to get the feet out of there when you're transforming him back. So what I'd recommend is just use the ankle pivot and then pull the foot down like so, because that makes it a lot easier for you to pull the foot out, and that's pretty much all. And for my final thoughts on this pair, I think it's a very, very good box. I think you get a lot of bang for your buck, like with the Soundwave, the Netflix Soundwave, Earthrise Soundwave, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yes, you did get Ravage and Laserbeak, but those two did add to the price. I'm glad that Rewind did not add to the price. I feel like it's kind of a situation with Studio Series Grimlock, but done right. With Studio Series 86 Grimlock, you got Wheelie, but it's not that good of a figure. It's definitely a downgrade from actual Studio Series 86 Grimlock. But with this, I'm very glad that we were able to get a cassette bot with Blaster. I hope they either do like a Gen Selects or a mainline core class or something like that for a fucking rewind. But I really like Eject. Not sure about how tight his left arm is, but I I can deal with it. Or right arm actually, I can deal with it, I guess. But clear plastic, kind of bothersome. I understand why, but I also kind of hate it. Blaster, on the other hand, absolutely fantastic. He is everything and more you would want in a mainline blaster. He's just a little too tall for my taste. Doesn't really stack up that well next to Soundwave, but with the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Soundwave coming, I feel like he'll stack up a lot better with that one than Earthrise. But honestly, I'm going to give this blaster figure a solid 9 out of 10. Eject, I'm going to give a solid 7 out of 10. And together, I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10, just as a whole, just buying it. But if you guys like this video, please leave it a like, subscribe, comment, whatever. And go check out Instagram and Twitter, links in the description. If you want this guy, I know he's up on Big Bad Toy Store and all that, but if you want him now, you could go on eBay, but like I said, I got mine for a very rare good price on there, so who knows? You do some eBay search and you might find some gold, so I don't know. You do you. But thank you guys for watching, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.